Okay, so let's continue on. Obadiah. So you can see you have a perfect example of how the day of Yahweh does not necessarily mean the last days. All right, let's pick back up in Obadiah, verse 16.
Verse 16. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been.
Now, what does that mean? You probably think that this is another last days prophecy. But let's define the word drink so you can understand what was going on. It's not just about being there drinking on his holy mountain. All right, give me a definition for that.
Drink in the Strong's word 8354. It means to imbibe. Imbibe in the Webster's dictionary means to drink in, to absorb, as a dry or porous body imbibes a fluid. A sponge imbibes moisture.
So basically, you can see that the Edomites and the heathen were sponging off of Israel. We're going to show you how there were Edomites in the land and also strangers or heathen up in the land sponging off of our inheritance. Okay? Read on.
Verse 17. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. Verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it.
Now, here's another one where you think that it says the house of Jacob and the house of Joseph, and you're thinking, oh, the northern kingdom or the northern tribes are coming back, and then we're all gonna kill everybody in the house of Esau.
Yeah.
But that's not what's going on here. Let's explain this. Let's go back to verse 17 and break this down. Because remember back in verse 9, it spoke of the Mount of Esau. Now notice what's going on in verse 17. Read.
Verse 17. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance.
Okay, on Mount Zion there shall be deliverance. Now how did this deliverance come about? Because these things have came to pass. Many of you tell me, oh, there's no way that came to pass. You don't know what you're talking about. Some of you even try to say, you're not an agent. How could you say something like this? You must be an agent.
Yeah.
Well, let's give you the proper understanding on it. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. We're going to take you through history and some scriptures and show you how that came to pass. Now read verse 18.
Verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble.
Okay, notice how it said the house of Esau. Many of you think, and one of the definitions for house, we know it's a building, it's also a family. But there's other meanings for the word house. All right? Let's get the definition for the word house. And you got a Brown, Driver, and Brick definitions? Because these brothers don't believe the Strong's Hebrew Dictionary. So let's get it from the Brown, Driver, and Briggs Hebrew Lexicon.
Place of land, house. Also of land of Ephraim.
Did you get that? It said place of land, house. Now we already know the other definitions. We're bringing out the definitions that pertain to this scripture. Okay? Read it again.
House from the Brown, Driver, and Briggs. Place of land, also of the land of Ephraim.
Notice how it even talks about the land of Ephraim, the northern kingdom, or the house of Joseph. But let's prove it in scripture. Give me Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20, you're going to read verse 2. I want you to give me Hosea chapter 9.
Verse 2. I am Yahweh thy mighty one, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Okay? So we were brought out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Were we in a physical house in Egypt? Were we part of the family of Egypt? No. But we were in the land of Egypt. It tells you clearly. So you can see how the word house also means land. But we're gonna provide another witness on that. Hosea chapter 9, verses 15 through 17. Go ahead.
All their wickedness is in Gilgal, for there I hated them for the wickedness of their doings. I will drive them out of my house. I will love them no more. All their princes are revolters.
So he said right there, he's going to drive them out of his house. This is talking about the northern kingdom. Did he mean he's going to drive them out of the temple? That's not what he was saying. Read it again. Start at verse 15.
All their wickedness is in Gilgal.
What's Gilgal? Let's get a definition on that.
Gilgal, from Brown Driver Briggs. Dwelling place of prophets in northern Israel.
In northern Israel. In the land of the northern kingdom. Read on.
All their wickedness is in Gilgal, for there I hated them for the wickedness of their doings. I will drive them out of mine house. I will love them no more. All their princes are revolters. Ephraim is smitten, their root is dried up. They shall bear no fruit. Yea, though they bring forth, yet will I slay even the beloved fruit of their womb. My mighty one will cast them away, because they did not hearken unto him, and they shall be wanderers among the nations.
Okay, and that's what the northern kingdom's going through right now. Wanderers among the nations. And we know where many of them are at. We all know this. Okay, but you can clearly see how the Most High said he's going to drive them from his house. Meaning from the land, from the northern land of Israel. From the land of Ephraim, from Gilgal. So let's go back to Obadiah. We have the understanding on house. I just want you to read verse 18 again.
Verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame.
So the house of Joseph a flame. And that word flame really means a weapon, like a tip of a weapon or a spearhead. But it also says the house of Jacob shall be a fire. Read on.
And the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it.
Okay, so the house of Joseph, or the territory of Joseph, the northern kingdom, shall be a flame. The territory of the southern kingdom, referred to here as the house of Jacob, shall be a fire. And then the house, or the territory of Esau, shall be for stubble. And it says they're going to kindle in them and devour them. How do they devour the house of Esau, the land of Esau? We're going to find out all of this. Okay? Why don't you read verse 18 one more time? Go ahead.
Verse 18. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it.
And we're going to find out why there were not any remaining of the house of Esau. Give me that passage from the Septuagint. Just to help you out there understand this more, we're going to read it from the Septuagint version. There's a little more clarity coming from the Septuagint. Go ahead.
And the house of Jacob shall be fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau shall be for stubble. And Israel shall flame forth against them, and shall devour them. And there shall not be a cornfield left to the house of Esau, because Yahweh has spoken it.
All right. So the house of Esau, they say there's not even going to be a cornfield left for them. Nothing. You know why? Because they lost their inheritance. There is no more house of Esau. We're going to prove that. For now, go ahead and read verse 19.
Verse 19. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain the Philistines. And they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead.
Okay, stop there.